I'm back. This is Chandler for Melda Production, and today I'm going to be doing another MGuitararchitect video. I know it hasn't been released yet, but if you get the Melda downloader, you should be able to check it out yourself now if you really want, but it should be released soon and you can try all this stuff yourself. What I'm going to be doing today is following up on the last video. Last time I showed you how you could save your own effects chains using Gmodular. Today I'm going to be combining two different presets using Gmodular, which makes it really, really easy to combine sounds and come up with new and interesting things. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is maybe I want to put a gate on this in case it gets too noisy. I don't want my guitar coming through here. There we go. I'm getting a little bit of noise, but you see it's not coming through. That's good. What I want to do next is we're going to add Gmodular just like before, and let's add some type of preset in here. We can look in here. Let's try something rock. Rock here. Okay, let's try crunch. 70s rhythm here. Let's turn on my guitar and listen to it. Fairly easy and basic. What I'll probably do is just take off this reverb, and that's because if we're combining two of them together, we don't need reverb on both of them. It could clash together. So just double click it and turn it off. We have it. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add another one, Gmodular. And we're going to do the same thing. Just choose a different preset. I don't know. What should I choose? Down and dirty. That's the next one there. I'm going to do the same thing. Just turn off the reverb. I'll turn this lane off so you can hear what this down and dirty preset sounds like. Now we can combine them together. There's a few different ways we can do this. So the first way, I might do it like this with the ratio here. Add the ratio to lane 1. Right-click it. And choose the sidechain. So in this case, it would be lane 2. Click steal the sidechain so it doesn't come out of lane 2 also. Now it's only going out of lane 1. Now from here, and we can move the ratio and just hear the first one, the first one, 70s rhythm, and down and dirty. You think, you know what, this one's a little bit louder, I don't want that much. I can just add it here, this much. And we can add reverb or anything else we want afterwards. I think this is actually somewhat better if we use maybe a clean sound instead. So if we had like classic clean, we can blend these two together here. So that way we're getting some dirt and we can also hear, the clean sound. So if we play a complex chord like this, you can still hear it through the distortion. Another thing I noticed, here my Gmodular, this one isn't hooked up to the gate. So I'll just click here and click 1. So that way it's going through there. It's sometimes watch your connections. Another way I'll do this is, let's get rid of this, go back to what we had before, that down and dirty preset. Let's try combining it another way. This time, let's add a mixer instead. Okay, so we have our mixer here. I'm going to right click it, choose input 1 and input 2. I'm going to do the exact same thing, steal input 2 here. Now we should have both of these mixed together. Oh, make sure I turn off that reverb. But there's some interesting things we can do here. I can take this panorama and I can move this all the way to the left and move this all the way to the right like this. Now you see this is a much bigger sound. Sometimes it's good to check the left and right and make sure they're even in volume. In this case they are. If they aren't, just move the volume so your left and right channels are balanced, or as much as you like them balanced. And of course, you don't have to set it at 100%. You could set it, like around 60 here, 60 here, if you want it slightly less wide. And you can always check the width here. If the stereo, you can pop this out and we can look here. It's not going over 100%, so that should be good. Normally you have to do some kind of tricks, but with this, it's really easy to get a big stereo sound because both of these have completely different amps and different cabinets. Ooh, here, it's always going to sound different. You'll always get a big sound. I shouldn't say always. Maybe 99.9% of the time, you'll get a big stereo sound. So that's something you can do. Let's try something else. Let's do another one. I'll set these back. And let's mute this. Different one here. Let's try big and thick here. So if we listen to this just by itself, so this one has a doubler and it's making it stereo. And if we listen to this together with the other one, I turn this off mute. Getting a much bigger sound. Now I might want to turn this one up, the original 70s rhythm, up a little bit more. And maybe even turn the other one, the big and thick, down a little bit. Now I'm getting a really big sound. However, maybe I want to do something, a little bit more. What if I split this out and only chose the stereo signal from this and combined it? What I can do is I can use the crossover here. This usually splits it by frequency, but we don't have to. Change it to mid-side here. Let's turn these two, actually let's turn that off. So now we're just going to hear this crossover here. And we can listen to each one. So if I move this over here, this should be the side. And here is the midsection. So there we have it. So I can just maybe use this solo like this, but what I usually do is just turn off number 2 here. So now I'm just getting the stereo signal from that and turn this back on. We don't want this going in there, so we're going to go into the mixer, turn off 2, and turn on 3. And because the side signal by itself will probably be lower in volume, I'm going to change these volumes back. So now we have this. Actually, I do kind of want the mid signal up, the original one up. So now we're getting a really big sound. If you want to make that even bigger and we want to create some distance, but we don't want a long tail, an easy way to do this is just take this and use a delay tap. I think I showed this in the previous video also. Take this delay tap and just set it to, let's say, 15 milliseconds or so. So now our stereo signal is going to be delayed by 15 milliseconds, but our main signal here from the 70s rhythm is going to go all the way through. So as you hear, there's no tail. It's still getting crossed over here. It's not going through. My fault. I'll steal it from 2, 3. There we go. Or not. There. Make sure you put it there. I did it the wrong way at first. So now I'm stealing it from the right place. Now it should sound better. If I turn it off, it sounds like this. My guitar's a little bit out of tune there. Sorry about that. But you can adjust this. Probably don't want that much. But I find someplace between like 50 is probably the maximum, I think. And that sounds like a slap back. And maybe the minimum is like 1 millisecond or so. Below that, you're going to get some probably comb filtering. So I like around like 10 or so. Maybe 10 to 20, I think is good. And just remember, don't be like me and put it on number 2 because it looks like it's going to 2 and then it goes through there. Luckily, you can easily see this line is going into the mixer, so just move it over there and you'll be good. So this is an easy way to combine preset sounds. I kind of went into a little other direction here with a crossover and delay tap. But there's lots of different things you can do here. And from here, you can add your own effects or whatever you want below it also. Doing this, it allows you to come up with all sorts of interesting and new sounds without having to mess with all the different chains. I know sometimes that's fun, but sometimes it's a bit annoying. If you just want to, get in there and add some new sounds, try this. Put some different presets together. You can even do this with more than 2 here. I could add 1 here if I wanted to here. Make sure this isn't going to the side chain. There. And then I can add mixer input 4. And now I have 4 if I want, or 3 in this case. But you can add as many as you want. You could probably even put G modular inside G modular and kind of go crazy. Hopefully you don't blow up your computer doing that. But hopefully this gave you some ideas of different things that you can do with this. Have fun with it. Enjoy yourselves. If you have any questions, leave those down below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. And please check out all the other plugins at meldaproduction.com. Till next time, see you.